This is Cobblemon, a Pokemon mod in Minecraft. This is Cobbleverse, the most well-known Cobblemon mod pack. And this is a shiny Burmy. Whoops. In this video, I'm going to be taking on every single Kanto Gym while only using Water-Type Pokemon. Let's get started. When the world finally generated, I spawned in by a very fitting river and ocean biome. And now, it was time to start my journey as a water trainer. I think a lot of you guys are going to actually appreciate the starter I chose, which was Poplio, but I ended up naming him Leo for short. Not only does he give me fairy type coverage, but he also gives me infinite underwater breathing when he turns into Primarina, which actually kind of comes in clutch for how much water the seed has. Now, I have never played the actual Cobbleverse mod prior to this, so I spent a lot of the first 10 to 20 minutes grabbing materials I didn't even need since there was quite literally no hostile mobs. But eventually, I found the first Pokemon I could catch. Now I know what y'all are gonna say. Panpour is mid. And you know what? You're correct. However, I am following the level cap for Cobbleverse, and Panpour was level 8, which made it perfect for him and Leo to level up side by side for now. So, with that stated, I named him Panmid. Just don't get too comfortable with him since he is temporary. After catching my first Pokemon in this journey, I did some exploring for more Pokeballs, and possibly some items I can use later on if needed. I found this jungle structure that actually helped me speed up the leveling process by giving me a medium candy, which is huge for early on leveling up. And guess who I gave it to? Not Panpour. I gave the medium candy to Leo, and he was ready to start evolving into a Brionne. I decided to try and leave the jungle area I was in, and I ended up finding Misty's gym, which obviously we can't do at this moment, but it's good to know where it is for now. But then we found a gold mine for a water-type Pokemon, and before you ask, it was not another Panpour. But we found a wild Shellos. Not only is he one of my favorite water types, but with his ground typing, he'll make us resistant to electric types. And since that's one of water type's greatest threats, then he was a must-have. The only problem was we couldn't use him just yet because he was level 30, which is unfortunate, but it'll be a great investment for later on. We eventually found some actual land and found a village, aka Pewter City. Wasn't too long after, we found our first shiny during this challenge, and you guys guessed it, it was a shiny Burmy.
It's in the water, under the sea.
I am not sorry for that. Anyways, it's almost time for our first gym battle against Brock, but to play it safe, I wanted some more Pokemon under my belt. I found one with great potential, a Binnacle, which is a water rock type. After some training with the team, we were finally ready to take home our first gym badge. In all honesty, the fight versus Brock was a walk in the park for obvious reasons. We didn't even lose one Mon, and with that said, we officially won our first gym badge. And now that our level cap moved up to 30, we now have Shellos on the team. Then on my way to Misty's gym, I found a Pokemon that is also a must when running a full water team, and that is Wingull. I named him Siegs, even though he turns into a Pelipper later on. Mine? After going down into the mines to grab some materials for a couple experience shares, we found our final member for the water team. Until we find a replacement for Panpour. And that's a Poliwhirl. Even though at this moment in time, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to keep him yet, since he acquires a water stone to evolve. But for now, he is definitely a fantastic addition to the team. It is officially time to fight Misty. It was also a very easy battle for me for the most part, but her Starmie was destroying me. It even took out Leo. So yeah, safe to say, this wasn't a Nuzlocke. We threw out Panmid, and he was actually useful for once, and had Ghost and Dark moves on that paralyzed Starmie and almost fated him. Then Panmid fell. We did eventually take Misty's Starmie out, and the battle was mostly easy from there, and we received our second gym badge, and are now officially 2-2 in gym battles. The next 3 gyms will be the real test on how my team is, especially the next one when we fight one of Water type's worst weaknesses, Lieutenant Surge's Electric type gym. After a couple hours of training, including evolving Binnacle to Barbaracle, as well as Leo evolving into Primarina finally, we even caught a Shelder to finally replace Panmid. It's okay, buddy. You did your best. My strategy for Lieutenant Surge is a little insane, but it's all I could do. But I basically threw out everyone other than Gastrodon first, since he's immune to electric, and if he goes down, we lose. And you guys may be judging me for it, but we ended up winning. Erica's grass gym honestly frightens me more than Lieutenant Surge's gym, but I know with Pelipper on our side, we will take the W. We also have Cloyster now, so we should win, right? Well, we ended up losing our first gym battle to Erica, but it's okay. I let her win, for plot purposes. The team and I did some more training since a few of the guys were not at the level cap. Also, desperate times come for desperate measures. I gave my mons battle items to give them some stat boost in battle, then it was time for our revenge. After getting a very lucky sleep on Rosa Raid, I threw out Pelipper and finally got the W on Erica. The next gym is Poison, and in case you didn't know or forgot, Fairy type is not so good against Poison, rendering Leo as useless as Pampor. Koga's Poison gym was quite literally thousands of blocks away from everything, of course, so once we finally got there, we hella trained up and took him out with ease, basically. 3 more gyms to go, then we're done. And now we are on Sabrina's gym. At the start of the first battle with her, I've been doing my usual strat of starting with Cloyster and having him light poison spikes, but the Hatterene pulled the Uno reverse of the century. But even after that, we still barely managed to beat Sabrina and claim the Marsh badge. Mine? After a lot of very close battles, I think my team needed another trick up our sleeves, and after multiple hours of digging, I finally found it.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, I'm sure a lot of y'all are wondering why Barbaracle. To be honest, I don't even really have an answer, other than he's the only one on my team who even has a Mega at the moment, and I know he's technically not a water type as a Mega evolution, but I don't give a f. Next up is the Fire Gym, and we're done. Alright, this is the moment you all have been waiting for, and it's time for the grind for the final gym. After traveling 3,500 blocks to reach Giovanni's gym and dig down towards him in the deep dark, I found his gym, and he wasn't there. Like, at all. The world unfortunately glitched and didn't spawn him in, so I enabled cheats and spawned him in. The battle begun, and bro already throwing out the big guns with Tyranitar and Rhyperior. They hit Leo with the Wombo combo and took him out in the first turn. Not gonna lie, at this moment in time, my timbers were indeed shivered. To combat his ground type moves, I did throw out Siegs, my Pelipper, in the battle, which was a horrible idea since I forgot they used Thunderfang quite literally last turn. My boy Cloyster also got taken down in the same turn. I threw out Gastrodon and Barbaracle. Rhyperior then used Earthquake, then took out my Pokemon and Geo's Tyranitar. I was able to take out Rhyperior with Muddy Water, but Geo continued to say, nah, I'd win, and pulled out his ace. It was at this moment I knew, deep down, I was cooked. I'm not even exaggerating, but after that battle, I almost gave up. Mewtwo is a very strong Pokemon that I'm not sure I can beat, especially with a level cap. But something in me told me to keep going, and that's exactly what I did. After hours of grinding, changing movesets, fighting trainers, and finding different items, I tried again. Okay, this time I changed up the strategy. Instead of throwing out Cloyster and Primaria in first, I went with Pelipper and Gastrodon, so ground type and electric type are mostly resisted, as well as having Pelipper use his ability Drizzle to make it rain. I did switch out Pelipper for Barbaracle since Damp Rock is on and the rain will continue for more rounds. Muddy Water from Gastrodon takes out Rhyperior immediately, and already Geo throws in Mewtwo. Right now, my plan is to get as much damage on Mewtwo as possible, so I Mega Evolved Barbaracle and Mewtwo takes him out. But that's okay, it was worth a shot. Gastrodon the GOAT takes down Tyranitar and gets big hits on Mewtwo as well. I toss Pelipper back out and Mew once again lands a huge hit that almost KOs him, but my Pelipper counters and nearly knocks Mewtwo out with Hurricane, but it's fine because Gastrodon knocks Mewtwo out with Muddy Water. With his ace gone, I knew I have this in the bag as long as I lock in. Pelipper does go down, but Gastrodon once again gets the trade on Nidoqueen, and Giovanni's final 2 Mons are out on the field. I gave my Poliwrath a close combat TM prior to the battle, just so he can take out Geo's Persian. Then Gastrodon deals the final blow. And just like that, it's over. We beat all 8 Kanto gyms and Cobblemon using only water types. Even though that was basically a movie, we still have the Elite Four and the champion to do yet, but that shall be for another day. Wait, who is that? Wait, bro, who are you?
Well, I'm the guy that took your Pampor. You remember how much you let him down? I'm gonna make him better than you could ever see.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen, dude. Well, you know what? You take care, man.
Yeah.
I'll be a better trainer one day, dude. You have a great day.
Oh, thank you. You too. That guy was kind of weird.